Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome once again to NoDQ&A video right here on NoDQ.com and the YouTube channel. I hope everybody had a happy and safe Halloween. Got a lot of questions here from spring.me/Aaron Rift, so let's get started. First one today comes from Nick Lombardi 9. Hey Aaron, if WWE were to buy TNA, would you be happy with them doing a quote invasion storyline and have some big TNA stars coming in and wreaking havoc? If so, when should they do it, and what wrestlers would you want them to bring over? Please answer in video. Well, I think it's pretty obvious that if WWE was to buy TNA, I think they would only do so to get the TNA library and have those matches for future WWE DVD releases. I don't think WWE is really interested in a whole lot of TNA talent, and I certainly don't see any kind of WWE versus TNA storyline. I mean, WWE was hesitant about doing a WWE versus WCW storyline, so they're certainly not going to feel that it's worth doing a TNA storyline. I could see them bring in maybe a few of the established TNA guys, maybe Samoa Joe, maybe AJ Styles, Daniels, Kazarian. I mean, all those guys I would love to see have an opportunity in WWE. But the fact is, WWE's focusing on their own developmental system. They're spending all that money on the Performance Center, and those are the guys that WWE's looking to push in the future. And I don't know if they're going to want to bring in any kind of TNA talent with a few exceptions. All right, this one comes from Cajun1969. Hey Aaron, #1 follower, with the tension with the Shield, which one do you see face? Please answer in video. Well, there's this talk right now about the Shield possibly breaking up, and I've been talking about it for weeks. People have been asking me, when's it coming? And we got the first little hint on Raw this week. They had the backstage promo with the Shield, and Dean Ambrose was talking about how he's the only champion left in the group, and Roman Reigns kind of gave him this stare. And, that's the first tease, I think. And, Roman Reigns came out during the match and did the double spear on the Usos for the win. So it seems to me like they're going to go with Roman Reigns as the babyface. He's the biggest guy of the three. And I think he's the best guy to go with as far as being a babyface goes. Dean Ambrose, I think, is best as a heel. I think that Seth Rollins could go either way, but I think he's best right now staying as a heel. So, I think the right way to go is to have Roman Reigns as the babyface and maybe have him align with the Usos since they all have the Samoan heritage and they all grew up together. So, I think that that's the way they should do it. And, we'll just have to wait and see. I mean, like I said, I'm going to be disappointed when the Shield breaks up because I think that they've been really tremendous this year, and a lot of the best matches on Raw over the past year have involved the Shield, but maybe it'll be even better when they're going at it against each other. So, eventually you gotta split them up and let them go off on their own and see what happens. All right, this one comes from Strikey B. Hey Aaron, big time fan, first time asking. Do you see WWE giving Evan Bourne a second chance? P.S. Cool shirts. I've gotten a lot of questions about Evan Bourne, what's going on with him, why hasn't he come back yet? I guess he's still having problems, he's not 100%, and, he's basically the anti-Cena. Cena comes back way sooner than expectations, and Evan Bourne just keeps staying on the sidelines and isn't able to get back to 100%. I think that the more time that passes, the less likely WWE is going to give him another shot. As I mentioned earlier, WWE is focusing on younger talent and the Performance Center. And, I think it's less likely that they're going to bring back past stars that haven't been around for a while unless they really feel that it's necessary and if they have a spot open or if they have a storyline for that particular guy. So it's possible they'll bring him back, but at this point, I think the odds are against it. But I'm hoping for his sake they give him another chance. All right, this one comes from Dave Kosnick. Aaron, I have a question I'm hoping you'll answer on 379. With Kane giving Stephanie his mask, do you think WWE is trying to push him as a heel and possibly get Kane in the mix as backup if Big Show does fight Triple H? Well, yeah, the reason that they had Kane take off the mask is to have him bald again, since the See No Evil sequel's coming out and he's bald in that movie. And, they want him to have that same look that he does in the movie. So that's why they did it. And as far as pushing him heel again, I guess they just wanted to balance out the rosters, and I guess they felt they had too many baby faces. You have Cena, Bryan, Punk, so you need a top heel in there. Right now I see Big Show either feuding with Triple H or Randy Orton, or both right now. So it's possible Kane might just go out there and do other things, and maybe he'll feud with Cena once Cena's done with Alberto Del Rio. And I'll get more to that in a minute. So there's a lot of different things you can do with Kane. It was definitely a huge curveball that they did the heel turn with Kane, because everybody thought he would come back and feud with the Wyatts again, but things went in a different direction, and the Wyatts are feuding with CM Punk and Daniel Bryan now. So it is interesting to see how Kane will fit into everything, but as I mentioned in the previous question, if they're starting to break up the Shield, they're going to need a new guy to raise hell on behalf of the McMahons. So, that person would be Kane. All right, this one comes from WWE Fan 5. Hey, Aaron, what did you think of Taz's WWE debut? And as usual, WWE Fan 5 always has to give his 2 cents. I think it's one of the best debuts, he says. I totally agree with you. I think that Taz had the perfect debut, and have a guy come out, you do these videos hyping him up, and then when he comes out, you do it in a major market like New York City, where a lot of the fans will recognize him, and he had the cool entrance music in the intro, and he just destroyed Kurt Angle. You have the guy come in and just look like a top superstar right from the get-go. It's really the perfect way to debut somebody. And another perfect debut, in my opinion, was CM Punk when they had him debut on ECW. It was the perfect venue, the Hammerstein Ballroom, a lot of old school ECW fans and Ring of Honor fans, and they instantly recognized CM Punk, and they reacted to him like he's a main event superstar. And when everybody else is watching at home, they're taking notice to this new guy that they might not be familiar with. So, CM Punk was great. Chris Jericho, of course, when he made his debut, and once again, you debut him strong, so right from the get-go, people see him as a major superstar. And going back even more recent, the Shield. They had the Shield interfere in the main event at Survivor Series, and from the very first night, they made a huge impact. And I want to mention Brock Lesnar as well. Brock Lesnar was another guy that came in with Paul Heyman by his side, and just destroyed people in his very first night, and it's something you don't forget. All right, this one comes from Wrestling Dude 95. Why is TNA wrestler EC3 competing against weak competitors every week and is not better talent on the roster? Well, in all seriousness, I enjoyed the EC3 character, and what they're doing is they're making him an old school heel, where he's not going out there and facing top level competition. He's the nephew of Dixie Carter in storyline, so she's purposely handpicking his opponents, and they're a bunch of weaklings that he can manhandle and look impressive against. So it's just, an old school heel gimmick and storyline that they're doing with him. And I like it. I think it's entertaining. So, I'm sure eventually he'll be in there against major superstars, but, what they're doing now, it's something that TNA hasn't done. I don't even remember them doing a storyline like this. So, I'm all for it. I'm happy that they're doing something old school and something different from what they usually do. All right, that'll wrap things up for this edition of NoDQ&A video. Thanks as always for watching. Next week is NoDQ.com's 15-year anniversary since I first started WWFWCW.com, which eventually became themayhem.com, and then NoDQ.com today. So I'm going to be doing a special video, which will also be the 1000th video on the YouTube channel. So spread the word. Let everybody know about the 15-year anniversary. Post a link to this video on Facebook or Twitter. Share it with your friends, anybody you know who watches wrestling. And I think you guys will really enjoy the video. With that being said, I'm going to get down to the last question now. All right, this one comes from Raymond SCHILTI. I'm a longtime viewer, reader, and first-time asker. How long do you think John Cena will hold the World Heavyweight Championship, and who would you book him to face after his rematch with Del Rio? I would like to see a young guy step up and face him. Well, I think the plan was for WWE to bring John Cena back and have him be a part of the WrestleMania storyline, the McMahon family storyline, and it's interesting to see how that's going to play out. Obviously, he came back a lot sooner than they were expecting, so rather than put him back in the WWE title picture, I think that they decided, since he came back so soon, to get him in the world title situation, and that way you can also increase house shows with John Cena defending the world title on one house show, and then Randy Orton defending the WWE title on another house show. So they're doing it to also increase house show business and SmackDown attendance as well. As far as who he faces after Del Rio, I mentioned earlier Kane. If you don't have anything else to do with him, you could put Cena in there with Kane again. I know it's been done already, but they're going to need somebody for Cena to feud with between December and January, and they already had that role for Kane in 2011, 2012, so wouldn't surprise me if they repeated that storyline. And as far as a young guy stepping up, I mean, I think that's wishful thinking for a lot of people. Have somebody new come in and maybe even beat John Cena for the world title. I don't see that happening. Maybe we'll get the unification match. I mean, a lot of people have been talking about that, the possibility of there being a unification match at WrestleMania 30, unifying the WWE and world titles. So, time will tell what happens. But whatever the case is, I expect John Cena to be a major player at WrestleMania in one of the main storylines that they're doing. So, with that being said, I will see you guys next time for more No DQ&A video.